Hey guys, so today's video is an impromptu Ask Me Anything. And I hadn't planned on filming this, but I had a whole bunch of accounting stuff to do this morning because taxes are coming up and they're brutal. And then when I got home, I started getting a little bit of a headache, as usual. So I decided to take a bath, and I thought, okay, I'm sitting here with a bath bomb. I'm about to put a mask on. I'm gonna wash my hair. Why don't I do a Ask Me Anything or a Mask Me Anything? I think the first person I saw do these was Mamrie Hart. I'm just going to put on a face mask and answer some questions while I'm at it. I'm in my new bathtub. Haven't shown you guys the bathroom reveal or anything like that yet. We are still waiting on an electrician. Our new contractors know an electrician, but he's not available until maybe sometime this week, maybe sometime next week, maybe not till January. So we are not holding our breath on that. But all that's left to do in this house is install the shower glass, which was supposed to happen this week, and the electricity. And as soon as it's done, I promise you I will be filming a remodel video. I'm gonna answer some questions, but first I'm gonna put on a mask. I've never tried this brand before. This is Glow Recipe, and this is the avocado melt sleeping mask. On the back of the package, it does say that you can use it like during the day. You just need to put it on, rub it in, and then wait 10 to 20 minutes or whatever, and then take it off. So I'm gonna try this today. I've never tried anything from Glow Recipe before. Oh yeah. I could never sleep in something like this. Like, I've tried sleeping masks before where you just leave them on all night, but there's something about the stickiness. Like, I feel like so much cat hair and my hair would get all stuck up in it. Mask is on. So I asked on Twitter for you guys to ask me some questions, and here's what you said. Holy shit, there's already 143 questions. Lorena says, would you ever start a vlog channel? I actually have a vlog channel. It's called RawBeautyKristi. I'm not kidding. I just never uploaded anything to it because I just didn't. Amanda says, how many baths have you taken since you got your bathroom back? 50. I am a bath taking bitch, as you guys can literally tell. It's like 1 o'clock. I just think that they're the most wonderful thing to ever happen to this earth, and I love them so much. Promise Moser says, do you see YouTube being a long-term career for you, or do you see yourself eventually using your platform to pursue a different career path you might enjoy more in the long run? Right now, I'm just considering YouTube as the long term, but I'm not ignorant in the fact that I know that, you know, social media changes. I don't necessarily see YouTube dying. I am just now really getting started on my YouTube channel, whereas I've had this one for like 5 or 6 years now. It's only really become something business-wise tangible to me in the last 2 years, where I've been able to do it full time and work from home. So while I feel like in the future there may be something else different, I eventually think I would like to have my own small business of some sort. Financially, I would like to one day in the probably far future, because I can only imagine how expensive this would be. So it's been a goal of mine to be somewhere as like respite care for animals. So if you guys didn't know, I used to be a wildlife rehabber for 4 years. I worked in wildlife rehab, and then I worked in a veterinary hospital for 5 years. When I did both of those, I love them so much. YouTube took over to where now YouTube is my full-time thing, but I would like to start a wildlife rehab that could be overflow for other wildlife rehabs that are too full. But I would also love to start like a nonprofit where it would be, I would buy a plot of land, and probably a minimum 5 acres, but I'd like to have at least half of that cleared and fenced in and allotted off to where dogs and cats could live out their lives instead of being in cages at, you know, like Humane Society or programs where they're to get adopted out. They could live at my facility free and happy and loved and warm and snuggled, and they don't feel like they don't have love. I would also like ideally love one day to be able to at least hire some staff to work at this place so that they're like getting lots of lovey-doveys, and that there's like a heated, not barn, I hate to say barn, but like I guess it would kind of be like a barn where there'd be like stalls where you could separate them out to eat and sleep if they maybe don't get along with other dogs, but that there's place for them to run, there's place for them to play, sleep, and just be content and happy for their whole lives. That's always been a goal of mine because I really love animals and I really hate seeing them stuck in cages for their whole life. That would be a really big goal of mine, is to start that, and that's kind of a long-term plan that I've always wanted to do. You know, everything I want to do involves a shit ton of money. Damien says, do you ever feel like Instagram makeup, Facetune, etc. has put makeup in a box, i.e. like everyone doing a cut crease? I mean, kind of. Like, I feel sometimes, for myself personally, like if I don't do super creative makeup, like cut crease, like glitter, like some crazy different eye look that a lot of times people think is boring, and maybe that's not true at all, but I feel sometimes like these simple basic makeup looks that realistically a lot of people are wearing and want to learn how to do, I feel like some people will be like, boring. I do sometimes feel like that's expected of me, but sometimes I wonder if I just put that expectation on myself. Tori says, have you come up with a name for your new little kitty? No. So I call her Belly or Jelly or Ballerina. Literally, she has a million names. She has no set name. I've tried calling her certain names. Like I wanted to call her Winnie or Winifred, or, you know, because we were watching Hocus Pocus when she walked in the house, but sometimes that just doesn't feel right. So honestly, I feel like animal names are overrated, because for me, like Mad Eye, his name is Mad Eye Moody, yet right now, for the last solid month, his name is Douglas. Misa says, what brand are you most loyal to? I don't think I'm loyal to any brand in particular. There are definitely brands that I have worked with who, when you get to know the team of people behind the brand, you're like, oh, I get it. Like, you are the coolest people. Like Pure Cosmetics, the team of people that works at Pure, I am not kidding when I say that they are truly like the funniest, nicest, most hilarious, down to earth, down ass bitches I've ever met. Like, when I get together with those people, I swear we are like dying laughing the entire time. Hilarity ensues. They are just wonderful, kind, fantastic human beings. I also really like Hourglass a lot, like the people that work at Hourglass. But if it's just despite all of like the people behind the brands, because honestly, I feel like everyone from every brand I've ever met is so fantastic. My loyalty does not lie with any single brand. Emma Hartley says, what is your biggest piece of advice for small YouTubers? Who is your biggest inspiration within the industry? If you could only eat one thing for the rest of your life, what would it be? Oh wow, okay, a few questions there. Biggest piece of advice for smaller YouTubers would be to, first of all, as corny as it sounds, listen to this advice and listen to it well. Be yourself. Add your personality in, because what's gonna bring people in is the information, and what's gonna make them stay is your personality. So let your personality shine. Don't be shy. It's awkward and weird talking to yourself for the first, 100 videos, but it gets easier. Don't put too much pressure on yourself. If something that you're doing isn't striking your fancy, switch it up. Don't be afraid to change things up, and when you find something that works, roll with it. Who's your biggest inspiration within the industry? Probably, I have different inspirations, because there are different things that I aspire to in different areas. So like business-wise, James Charles, like hands down. I think that there is nobody better at business than James. I think that he just pushes the boundaries of YouTube to a level where I'm like, how are you doing that? Like research-wise, JenLuvsReviews. I feel like my face is turning so red. I'm gonna wash my face. Yeah, I'm almost sure this has honey in it. And the last time I did a honey mask, which I think was like the pharmacy honey pot or something like that mask, my face got hot like that too. It's so weird. Does honey do that? Does it make like your skin hot? JenLuvsReviews is a huge inspiration to me, because she is so well researched and she knows a lot about a lot, and I admire that. I find sometimes that I feel like I sound like I'm trying to know what I'm talking about, and I'm just like fucking talking in circles. Desi and Katy are a huge inspiration to me as well, because they stay out of everything, kill it with their content, their photos, the amount of trips that they go on, their collabs are amazing. I just feel like if I could probably like switch careers with anyone, it's probably like Desi or Katy. I don't know, I just feel like they're absolutely killing it. If you could only eat one thing for the rest of your life, what would it be? Sourdough bread. Dude, it's Kara says, what would you do today if you found out you only had until tomorrow? I would gather all of my family together, and I would sit with them all in a room, and I would hold all of them and just sit around and just tell each other everything and talk until the absolute last moment, and tell each other constantly how much they love each other. And I would just spend every waking moment with everyone that I love. There's nothing in this world that I would want to do more than be with my family. And so that's it. I would just sit with my family and constantly tell them how much I love them, and have my Zachy there with me and my kitties and everyone that's important to me. And I would just surround myself with as much love as possible. That's all I would want. Mara says, if there was one thing, anything you could learn about or study, what would it be and why? Probably do medicine in general. It could be animal medicine, it could be human, but I'm very, 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 very interested in medical. I just think that of all of the fields, it would be what I would be best at. It would be what I am the most suited for. I have the worst memory when it comes to names, but the best memory when it comes to like drugs as in like medical drugs, their names and their properties and what they can do and how they can treat each sort of illness. I just feel like it's an area where I personally shine. And so I think if I could go back to school and study anything, it would be either human or animal medicine, or both. Braden says, what was your biggest accomplishment this year? Probably, that's a tough one. When I think back on the year, being able to afford to remodel our house is a huge one, because that's something that we've been wanting to do for like the last, since we moved here 4 or 5 years ago. Other than that, being able to do my meet and greet at BeautyCon with Hourglass was so huge for me. My first ever meet and greet being at BeautyCon with Hourglass. Like, to me, that is mind-blowing to me. What? Hourglass is a brand that until last year I literally could not even begin to afford, and now I'm with the actual people behind the brand at BeautyCon at my own booth that's set up for us. It was surreal. Also, Mexico with Pure Cosmetics and BoxyCharm was legitimately like, I know that a lot of influencers go on a lot of these brand trips or press trips or PR or whatever you want to call them. I've only been on one, and it was the highlight of my life. I want to go on so many more because I experienced it in, I feel like, a different way than I could ever explain. Like, I had never been on a beach before. I had never been on a tropical trip before. That was the first one. I had never been out of the country before, other than Canada, which, love you Canada, but you don't really count as like being out of the country for me because I'm like right next to you. It was just like a lot of firsts for me were on that trip. It was my first time trying ceviche and I loved it. That trip itched at my travel bug so bad. I really want to travel now. Traveling is so expensive. I don't know, I'm such a stickler with money. Like, when it comes to money, I'll always have like a really frugal mindset. I'm like the most frugal bitch in the world. And so, even though I can travel now, I still don't because I'm so cheap. Megan says, have you gotten stopped in public by a subscriber? And 2, what is the right/wrong way or time to approach you if someone sees you and wants to say hi? I have been stopped by quite a few, and there is no wrong way except just, I think, staring at them from across the room and not saying anything is like the most awkward, because I'm not some celebrity that like knows people are gonna be staring at me. I'm just some girl who, like, if I'm walking around a mall and somebody's just staring at me, I'm like, okay, does she hate me? Is she gonna beat me up? Like, do I have something, like a booger? Like, is my lipstick smeared on my face? I just don't like that. So like, I think the right way to go approach a YouTuber is to just do it and be like, hi, I just wanted to come say hi, I love your YouTube channel, can we get a picture or something? Sometimes people walk up to you and they just stand there and stare at you and they don't say anything, and I'm like, hi. Just be forward and say how you feel and ask for a picture if you want one. So many people are like, I wanted to ask for a picture but I felt awkward. Like, please never feel awkward. It's not, trust me, I get it, but it's not awkward. It's so sweet, and at least I know I personally love it. Jingle Bell Valentine Beauty says, what's your favorite thing about cats? Oh my god, where do I begin? What do I love about cats? Well, I'm glad you asked. I love dogs too, by the way. There's just something about cats, like, they're self-sufficient and independent little fluffy, sweethearted angels. At least my cats, which is all I can speak for, are kind, friendly, wonderful, snuggly muffin making babies. Like, so much about my cats. I mean, there's nothing negative about them other than the fact that, like, yeah, sometimes they jump on my couch and like their little claws scratch the fabric. But other than that, like, oh boo-hoo, I'll get over it. They are loyal, sweet, they play, they sleep a lot, They don't need to be let in and out. So much love for people. They aren't evil like people think they are. Like, I've literally never met an evil cat. I don't know what people are talking about when they say that. Like, cats are fucking evil. I'm like, no, no, no. Cats are afraid. They're not evil. They're scared. They're just lovely little angel babies. Like, they just love, and they love food, and they love snuggles, and they love butt pettings, and they love ear scratchings and belly rubbings, and they just want to be your friend. And they're a little bit sketched out sometimes, but not mine. Mine aren't like that at all. I just think that they are such a good little companion, and I think that people who don't like cats need to reevaluate, because while dogs are amazing too, and I get that dogs are lovely little snuggle buggles, cats are pretty amazing and funny, and they're just good little fluffy snugglers. Leslie Schmesley says, not makeup related, what's your favorite music right now? Right now I'm really into listening to smooth jazz. That's not a lie or a joke. I don't know why. I just find it to be super soothing. I've been pretty stressed out lately, and I find that when I'm stressed, I just want to be calm. So I listen to like piano or smooth jazz. Billie Eilish has been really good. I love Billie Eilish. Calm, relaxing music is always my go-to, like Simon and Garfunkel. But yeah, that's currently realistically what I'm listening to. Ethereal, I think I'm saying that right. What's the limit on cats you're willing to take in? If you didn't have cats, but any other pets you'd like to have? If I didn't have cats, I would get a dog, but that'll never happen. Is there a limit on cats I'd be willing to take in? If they all got along, and if they all used the cat box, and if they were all good boys and good girls, no, there is no limit. But currently we have 4, and I'm also feeding 7 to 9 across the street. I say to 9 because there's been a couple more that have showed up since food started happening. So I have so many animals that I'm taking care of and feeding. My heart is so full with what we have currently, but if something happened and somebody needed a place to stay and they were good, the new kitty and Maddie, I call her Belly by the way, I'm just gonna call her Belly. Belly and Maddie right now are best friends. They hang out together all day long. They run around the house together, they play together, they are friends. And if another one wanted to be a third friend, I wouldn't be against it. Lisa with an E says, what is your personal anthem? You know, like the song that makes you bust a move like Elaine in Seinfeld, and not even care who's around. Africa by Toto. BH Cosmetics says, why are you so amazing? Well, you know, the question is, why are you so amazing? And why is your contour palette so good? Somebody said, spill some tea for us. Here's the thing. No, I will never, ever, ever be that bitch. For a minute there, I loved to rile people up and have a really strong debate. And even if people got mad at me, I didn't care. And even if I hurt somebody else's feelings, I didn't care. That is not me now. I am the exact opposite person. So much so that the thought of spilling tea, it's just not for me. It's not for me at all. It makes me sick to my stomach. I feel so bad about it. I just find that like when I start letting negativity and shit like that into my life, like I become such a negative person and I don't like who I am. And that's the that about that. Louisa Cried Power says, as a small lips fellow, did you ever feel pressured to do lip filler since you are a makeup blogger and all, or how do you deal with that? Absolutely, yes. I mean, a huge part of being a YouTuber and being on social media in general is feeling pressured to get medical procedures that you feel will make you look more beautiful. And for a minute there, I was highly considering it. I called around, I scheduled an appointment, I scheduled a consultation, I scheduled a second consultation. I called a place in LA and scheduled an appointment where a lot of like the big YouTubers and stuff go. I canceled every appointment and never went into anything. I eventually decided that I like the way that I look. And I don't want to let the pressure of seeing other people with big, beautiful, juicy lips determine how I should feel about my face. I've always not liked my small lips. I think that they're small, they're irritating, they're not ideal for me. But the thing is, I don't feel comfortable getting lip filler. I think for me, personally, I would rather just line my lips, overline them if need be, if I feel like I want them a little bigger that day, and just accept my face as the way it is, but if you decide to do lip filler, or I'm not downing anybody, I get it. I think it's so beautiful on so many people, and I totally see why. I just feel like the older I'm getting, the more I'm realizing that I don't need a Brazilian butt lift. I don't need a boob job. I don't need lip filler for myself. While I think those things would be nice, the negative side things that can happen scare me more than having to live with small lips. Like for a minute there, I was like, I'm getting a Brazilian butt lift when I can afford it. Well, now I can afford it and I don't want it because I'm too afraid of like the, you know, possibilities and the, you know, possible complications that can come afterwards. I don't know, I personally have changed my stance on it, but I don't care what anyone else wants to do with their life. Do what you want with your face, with your body, with it, whatever makes you feel comfortable. Anyway, enough with lip filler. I think that I've said enough about that, but I honestly, I just want to make it clear that I literally don't care like if you have lip filler, or if you don't, or if you like the way that it looks, or if you don't. Like I literally don't care what anyone wants to do with their life or their body. It's do with it what you feel comfortable doing. I'm too scared of everything. For me, I've come to the realization I have a small ass and a bigger stomach and saggy boobs, and it is what it is. K, or Mrs. K. Gemin. I'm a teacher and I want to know what your most memorable moment was in elementary school. I teach 4th grade and my students are my everything. Oh my gosh, 4th grade is the best. I remember being read The Hobbit by my 6th grade teacher, and he did all the voices and he immersed us into that book so much so that it got me super stoked about reading. And so I always loved it when my teachers would read to the whole class, but they would like do different voices for the different characters. I don't know, I just found that to be so fun. Lanita has a good question. A weird one, she says, but I am quite similar to you. I wanted to know, a long time ago you said that you're kind of asexual or not very interested in sex. Is that still the same for you, or has it changed as your health has been better, cluster headaches, etc.? So if you guys did not know, I actually have a condition called PCOS, or polycystic ovarian syndrome, where I also have insulin resistance, which has been dealing with that since I was like 15 or 14 years old. For a long time there, I had no sex drive whatsoever. That has definitely gotten better as I've lost weight, as I've just gotten healthier, as I've grown up, as my marriage has gotten better. Not that my marriage was bad, but for a minute there, we were trying to get pregnant. And when I say a minute, I mean 5 years. We were trying to have a baby and I couldn't get pregnant, which all this is so TMI for any of you who don't care. However, during that time, it was really, really bad. And I think that a lot of that was contributed to my PCOS being the worst that it ever was, not taking care of myself and my mental health, being on a lot of fertility medication, and just being stressed out in general. And like, I was a very negative person back then. Like I literally used to live my life in a negative space with everything that I did. And now that I'm older and I'm just not interested in that anymore, and it's made my life exponentially better. Stopping trying to get pregnant, stopping being negative about everything. A lot of that stuff fixed a lot of my other health issues. Keto fixed me. Pretty much, like, yeah, I'd say not fully, but it's like 90% better. I really mean that. So I found that cutting out carbs and exercising and losing some weight and just being generally healthier and eating a lot healthier of a lifestyle led to a lot of improvement in every area of my life, mental health and physical. Sarah said, if you had your own brand of anything you want, not even related to beauty, what would it be and why? Coffee. I love coffee and I want to be in business with it, and I want to grind it up and roast it and smell it all day long every day. And I want to drink it and I want to bathe in it and I want to have it be my everything. And then I want to take those same coffee beans from my same company and I want to grind them up and I want to put them in face masks and I want to put them in body scrubs and I want to make a line of everything coffee. This battery is dying. My battery is dying. It just died on me. I'm at like 12%, if that. So I just wanted to say that is the end of the video. That was going to be the last question I answer anyway. Thank you guys so much for asking questions. Sorry about this video being so weird and in the bath and just answering questions. I want to do another one of these, or a live one or something, so that, I don't know, maybe not in the bath next time. I feel really weird about this, and editing this is going to be very interesting. But anyway, I just love you guys so much, and I thank you guys so much for watching and asking questions and being interested. And, you know, you're just the best, and I love you so much. And I thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye. Ouch! I burned my boob. And this is think the first time I've ever received, ow. Emma Hartley says, what is your biggest piece of advice for inspiration? Oh wait, what the? Louisa Cried Power says, as a small lips fellow, how did you feel, or, Zach! Somebody's at the front door and she needs a signature. The longer I've done this, what's that?
From EXL.
Oh, EX1.
EX1, sorry.
What is it?
Kristi, I am obsessed with your makeup look today.
What?
Kristi, I am obsessed with your makeup look today.
Well, EX1. Oh my god. What is, oh, it's a bottle of their foundation.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that's so cute. Look at that. EX1, you precious little angels.